Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to meet some incredible talents. People who push past boundaries and make the impossible look easy. All right, let's dive in. More than just a machine, this is a true industrial monster, designed with sharp steel teeth and an advanced crushing system. It easily swallows all kinds of scrap iron, from thick steel bars, old car frames to small pieces of metal. Imagine a powerful yet compact machine, a tiny monster, ready to crush seemingly useless scrap metal into valuable pieces of metal. Imagine a mechanical titan, a giant crushing machine ready to devour and crush seemingly invulnerable shipping containers. Imagine a mechanical monster with giant steel jaws ready to swallow everything. That's what this scrap metal crusher is, a real shark in the world of scrap metal. This scrap metal crusher is not just a machine, but a real mechanical monster with terrifying jaws likened to those of a crocodile. Imagine sharp, strong steel teeth, densely packed and tightly packed, ready to crush any scrap metal that dares to enter its mouth. Imagine a giant steel crusher, its metal jaws gaping like a hungry monster. The ill-fated motorcycle, once powerful and free, is now a helpless prey. you find this video useful or interesting, don't forget to like to support me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest videos every week. Are you looking for a powerful assistant in the kitchen? An indispensable companion for delicious and nutritious dishes? Discover the multi-function vegetable and fruit grinder, a technological masterpiece that will make all preparation work faster and easier than ever. Possessing extraordinary power, the stone crusher stands tall like a mechanical titan, ready to devour lifeless rocks to release the hidden resources within. Imagine a powerful machine, ready to devour the scraps of wood, turning them from lifeless scrap into valuable resources. This is not just an ordinary wood chipper, but a professional wood recycling machine, a green economic solution for your woodworking shop. A giant scrap metal crusher appeared, nothing less than a mechanical monster with sharp steel teeth. Each of its crushing strokes was like the brutal bite of a great white shark, crushing the hardest scrap metal into lifeless pieces. With calloused hands, the hard workers skillfully fed each rough iron bar into the giant crusher's mouth. The cold metal slid down the conveyor belt, then disappeared in the powerful grinding sound of the machine. Imagine a giant machine, its steel jaws grinding down on scrap cars. With incredible hydraulic power, it crushes metal, turning lifeless chunks of scrap into neat, square bundles, ready for recycling. Imagine a mighty machine, an industrial titan tirelessly crushing and taming the chaos of scrap metal. This scrap metal compactor is more than just a piece of equipment. It is the heart of the modern recycling process, transforming bulky, space-consuming piles of scrap into solid, neat bales of metal. With a metallic screech, the ill-fated car was pushed into the jaws of a giant crusher. The cold steel wall slowly tightened, crushing the sturdy chassis as if it were nothing more than a fragile eggshell. A giant metal arm reached out. The crane gracefully grabbed bundles of rusted steel. They hovered for a moment, then were thrown forcefully into the hungry maw of the crusher. The power to crush all limits. This construction stone crusher is not just a piece of equipment, but the heart of every solid construction. With its strong steel teeth, it crushes boulders, turning them into valuable building materials, laying the foundation for century-old constructions. In a split second, the grinding gears spin crazily, turning seemingly indestructible chunks of scrap metal into a pile of lifeless scrap. The terrifying force struck down, crushing the seemingly solid scrap iron in a moment of shaking. The metal groaned under the brutal pressure, shattering into countless tiny pieces, as if being crushed mercilessly by a giant hand. Thank you for watching. I hope these moments will help you relax after a stressful day at work. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Goodbye, and see you again.